From the early days of our civilization, there has been a distinction between two different kinds of knowledge. One kind has been called science. The other has often been called sorcery or magic. What's the difference? The point of science is to understand the workings of the world. The point of sorcery is to manipulate the forces inherent in the world for the sake of power. Science views the cosmos as a whole and keeps whatever is being studied in its place in cosmic harmony. Sorcery cares nothing for the whole and seizes upon whatever isolated bits of knowledge will increase the power of the magician. Science tends to inspire an attitude of humility toward all that exists. Sorcery tends to produce a stance of pride and domination toward the world. Advances in science have been generally beneficial to humanity. Advances in sorcery are beneficial mainly to sorcerers. As a result, our civilization has always prized science and wisdom, but has opposed sorcerers and witchcraft. We live in an age of rapid growth in technologies of all kinds. We refer to that growth simply as scientific progress. There is certainly truth in that way of speaking. Yet we seldom stop to question whether we are pursuing all this new knowledge mainly as scientists or as sorcerers. Do we keep the whole moral, social, and spiritual world in view? Or do we go after new things just because we can and because we will gain power from it? It wasn't always this way. Before the scientific revolution that began in the 17th century, Western cultures believed themselves to exist within an ordered cosmos in which all things have meaning and purpose, and recognized that their scientific investigations and technological advances were meant to be in harmony with the cosmic rhythms. In this tradition, those investigating the natural world were interested in the whole of things, in seeing how all things are interrelated. Recognizing this cosmic harmony, they saw that there are moral, spiritual, social, anthropological, and ecological concerns related to all scientific discovery and technological advancement. Because all aspects of reality are related, to demonstrate that a thing can be done is a far cry from answering the moral question of whether it should be done. At the beginning of the modern period in Europe, a significant attitude change began to occur, as people began to reject the view that the material world is a meaningful and harmonious order, insisting rather that it is lacking inherent meaning and available for our use, whatever that may be. In this view, the purpose of scientific discovery was no longer to find humanity's place in the natural world and develop it accordingly, but now to dominate the natural world for the advancement of human power. Francis Bacon, the prophet of this new vision, thus coined that famous catchphrase, "Knowledge is power." Many of the most prominent scientific minds of the day, people like Isaac Newton and Robert Boyle, were as interested in magic as they were in science. They tried their hands at alchemy and astrology, as well as chemistry and physics. The natural sciences won out because they achieved better results. Because of an attitude shift that saw the material world as lacking inherent meaning, and that encourages fascination with uncovering the secret powers of the world, references to cosmic rhythms and the nature of things are often pushed aside, and the focus is primarily on advancing human power. If something can be done to increase human power in any desired direction, it should be done. Knowledge is power, and the world and everything in it belong to us to use as we like. Inevitably, our domination of the natural world, without any sense of moral caution, can lead to the domination of some persons over other persons. The weak give way to the strong. So modern science and technology have a kind of dual ancestry. On one side of the family tree are the great philosophic and scientific traditions, a breathtaking pursuit of truth. And on the other is the attraction to sorcery, the desire for power. Both scientific investigation and the practice of witchcraft grew more widespread in the early modern period. We no longer think magic works, and so we call ourselves scientific. But the attitude to the world behind the practice of magic and sorcery has continued to affect the practice of the natural sciences. As we continue to be ever more sophisticated in our knowledge of the natural world, we all face this fundamental question. Do we want to be scientists, or do we want to be sorcerers? Men and women of goodwill living in the world today have an opportunity we shouldn't miss, an opportunity to think carefully about the moral, spiritual, and anthropological assumptions we bring to the table when considering scientific and technological advancement.